Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Pluto in the ninth house in the natal chart. Now, first off, what I want to state is that when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Pluto placements in the houses. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, Pluto in the ninth house can be comparable to Pluto in Sagittarius, but naturally you got to blend in the zodiac sign with this. Pluto in Sagittarius in the ninth house can be different than Pluto in Gemini in the ninth house, as an example. Now, Pluto in astrology is connected with our passion and desire, so there may be a lot of passion and desire simply for expanding horizons, going outside the box, abstract thinking, matters connected with philosophy, religion, higher education, college studies, even sports, expressing humor. It could be really, doing something, in some kind of field associated, the ninth house in Sagittarius, which can include, working in publishing or advertising, or as a printing press operator, an outdoor guide, something that involves exploration or adventure. And it could even be working as a college professor in some instances. Now, and also too, Pluto in astrology is associated with our intimate connections. So, intimate connections may play a pivotal role in one's, it could be the philosophy, general philosophy, beliefs, opinions. Um, it could be, in terms of expanding horizons, abstract thinking, going outside the box, one's religion, matters pertaining to publishing and advertising, and even activities, matters, or even the connection with in-laws and grandchildren, sports activities, outdoor, activities as well, and even doing something, just really, could even be importing and exporting, or doing something, ninth house related, like I was stating before, doing, publishing, advertising, doing something, that could be ninth house, Sagittarius related, and it could also be, Pluto in astrology is also connected with power and control. So the thing about this is, you may feel, there's more, there might be an urge to have, or this need for power and control, through your higher education, being able, to have, you could be controlling your life through what you assimilate, the knowledge you assimilate, your post high school learning. You might be one of those people that have the philosophy where knowledge is power. And you may be in a position of power if you're involved in a religious congregation, and it could be where there may be some power, control issues, in the connection with in-laws and grandchildren, or you may simply be somebody that empowers them as well in your life. And the thing about, this placement as well is that, this is about, having, you may feel there's power just in being able to expand horizons, go outside the box, so to speak, abstract thinking, and even in sports related matters in some cases, traveling abroad, being able to, go, travel outside the country when you're able to, having control over that, not having to wait, based on, say, a monetary situation, as an example. Now, Pluto in astrology is also associated with transformation and major change. So if you have Pluto posited in the ninth house in the chart, there may be some, transformation in terms of your, philosophy, some kind of belief. It could be your religion at some point in time, maybe through college, higher education, post high school learning and studies. Um, there may be some need to transform somehow, an in-law, a grandchild even. And any transformation or major change may be done with a lot of exuberance, enthusiasm, and optimism. Keep in mind, this is the ninth house that's associated with Sagittarius. And there also may be a lot of, you might feel some need, some kind of reformation or transforming the law, even to some degree. And the thing about, or matters with sports as well. See, Pluto in astrology is also connected with rebirth, regeneration, revival, being able to resurrect something. I'm not talking about, like a person literally being resurrected, but it could be where, there's a rebirth of something ninth house related, a revival, like such as a religion or some belief or philosophy. It could be, a connection with an in-law, a grandchild, a foreigner. It may be, any kind of rebirth or revival, regeneration may be done again with a lot of that, exuberance, enthusiasm, optimism, doing so in an expansive way. It may be, where there's a rebirth of simply, expanding horizons, abstract thinking, going outside the box, so to speak. And it may be where some kind of, rebirth or regeneration may be done, with some, maybe where an in-law or a grandchild may play an integral role in this. So another thing about Pluto in astrology, it's associated with death and endings, and it's not, figure it could be literal death, but it's also about figurative death, obliterations, endings. So if you have Pluto in the ninth house, at some point in time you may go through some death of a certain belief or philosophy. It could be a religion that that you were involved with, or in some religious congregation or some belief, religious belief or some matter with, there may be more endings associated with publishing or advertising, whether it's at a firm or whether you simply, have just a lot of change and fluctuation in those matters. And you might be somebody that does, certain publishing for a certain amount of time, then stops, and then at another point in time, maybe you start something again with publishing and then end it, things of that nature. And also, it could be, matters with foreign travel or sports or the outdoors as well. This is where you may experience, more like figurative deaths and endings more so than most people. Now, Pluto is also connected with support, whether it be moral, emotional, or monetary support. So if you have Pluto in the ninth house, you may be somebody that is able to get that help, greater propensity for that support in matters pertaining to college, higher education, if there's issues with the law. And also, the ninth house is associated with a debilitated, less dominant parent. Keep in mind, the ninth house is 6 houses from the fourth house. And the fourth house is corresponds with the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. So this is where you may get support as well in those matters. It could be, matters associated, with helping. It could be a grandchild or an in-law, or those people may be often be there for support for you even. Now, another thing about Pluto in astrology, it's also associated with surgery and trauma. So the thing about this is, keep in mind again, the ninth house does correspond with the zodiac sign Sagittarius. So there may be some proclivity for some kind of surgery or trauma associated with the hips, the sciatic nerve, the thighs, or even the liver. And it may be where it's any surgery or trauma, you may be, more optimistic and upbeat about, more so than most people. Something may happen as a result of some outdoor activity, something with sports, or even some matter something may happen in a foreign country that where there's some kind of trauma or something injury takes place where there's surgery that is required. Now, keep in mind, Pluto in the ninth house, just be careful not to, coerce or be overly forceful regarding your beliefs and trying, to indoctrinate others with them. And also, it could be where others may try to manipulate you into into certain beliefs that you may not really want to accept, or they're not right for you for whatever reason. Now, Pluto in the ninth house could also indicate, in-laws and grandchildren that may be very passionate, resourceful, resilient, but at the same time, they may be controlling, manipulative, jealous, even vengeful in some cases. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard say, stay well.